Yo, what's going on, guys? If you are thinking of studying in Russia or you just want to know the experience of a foreign student here, this video is for you. I'm gonna interview one of my friends. He's from India. His name is Prithvi. He's studying second year of Masters Spacecraft Engineering in Moscow Aviation Institute. The first question is, why did you choose exactly Russia, not an English-speaking country?
So the reason I chose Russia is because it's like I'm interested in spacecraft, all the space tech, and according to my research, Russia was the only country which seemed affordable to me, and that was one of the main reasons why I chose Russia.
How many years did you spend in Russia?
So yeah, this is my second year in Moscow, and as far as I can tell, it's been very nice. It's beautiful, especially during the winter season. Winter seasons, the snow, the cold. It's all a new experience to me, and it's worth remembering. It's memorable.
Could you tell me about the amount of scholarship that you get?
I didn't receive any scholarship as I'm studying in the English medium program, and as far as I know, it's like they do not have the option for English program students to get any scholarship.
How much do you pay for studying here?
So in order to study here, I had to pay an estimated amount of 3,000 USD. In terms of dollars, it's like $3,000.
And in which university are you studying and the program?
Yeah, I'm studying in Moscow Aviation Institute, and I am doing my masters in spacecraft engineering.
How comfortable are you on campus?
So coming to the comfortable question, it's quite peaceful over here. Like the campus is really huge, and the people are very polite. And it's like even if you don't know Russian, they will try to answer in English. Like some of us use translators to get directions or get any advices, and even they do the same thing as well. So it's peaceful, calm, just as I like it.
Was it hard to learn the language?
So as I said, I'm studying in the English medium program, and we do not have to deal with Russian language. However, what I can advise is it's better to at least know few words in Russian, like saying "Privyet" when you meet some Russian people, or saying "Spasiba," which is the Russian way of saying thank you, and it also shows how open we are to them.
How do you feel as a foreigner in Russia?
As being the first time, like this is the very first time I'm being outside of India, and so it was like a complete shock. It was like total change in culture, climate, the people, as well as the new language. The Russian language was completely new to me, and I was totally unaware. It was quite difficult in what can I say, in like first, like in the first 3 weeks of my life in Moscow. It was quite difficult, but as I got along with people and met few Russians, it was quite good. Things started to get better.
Next questions will be about the living in Russia. Are Russians friendly?
Yeah, so as I said, Russians are friendly, but the main condition is if they know the same language, like if they have a common language that is English, then they are the most polite and the most friendliest people I have ever seen. And on the other side, if they don't know English and they find it hard to talk in English, it takes some time to understand what they're saying. So the bottom line is, even if you don't know Russian language, there are many people in Russia, that is in Moscow, who know English very well.
Are Russians the same as you have seen in the movies?
Yeah, now that's an interesting question because I have seen a lot of movies, and one of the movies which caught my attention was Mission Impossible, which was filmed by Tom Cruise, as you might have heard. The thing about this movie is they portray Russia in two types. The environment, which they show it as vibrant, it's filled with colorful buildings, colorful architects, and coming to the people as they show in the movie, they picturize the Russian people as aggressive. They are strict, and they smile like they rarely smile, and like they're really reserved. but that's all in the form of real. When it comes to reality, they are the total opposite. They are so kind-hearted, and they smile a lot actually, and they speak good English as well.
I mentioned that you are in Moscow. Like in Russia, there are a lot of parts. In some parts, it's plus 10 right now. Okay.
Okay.
Is it really cold in Russia?
Yes, it's really cold in Russia, and I can say this because I'm from India. And right now, even though it's winter around the whole world, in India, it's like the temperature ranges from plus 15 to plus 30. The maximum is plus 30. But in here in Moscow, the temperatures can go way down to, as far as I know, it went to minus 30 the last year. And right now, it's January, and the temperature is like minus 20. But the one beautiful thing I like about winter in Russia is the experience of snow. You don't get snow in India. I mean, I'm from the southern part of India where there is no snow. But coming to Moscow, there is snow everywhere, and it's a nice and pleasant, chilling experience.
You must miss your home foods. Are there any places where you can eat Indian food?
Yeah, definitely. I really missed my home food. And as far as I know, yeah, there are two restaurants here in Moscow. One of them being Darbars, and the second restaurant being Moscow Delhi. And my favorite restaurant out of these two is the Darbars restaurant. The food over there is so tasteful. Like it feels like I am in India, even though I am in Moscow. The food over there tastes like I'm back to India. I'm back at my home. It gives, like, what can I say? It makes me miss home even more. So yeah, and even though it's quite expensive over at the bars, it's worth the amount. It's nice.
Are things in Russia affordable?
So coming to the cost of living in Russia, I wouldn't say that it's a lot of expensive, but I can say it's moderate. Because when comparing to India and Russia, even though we have the same currency value, like it's almost equal, the cost of living is quite varying in Russia. And I'm saying this because as I live in a dormitory and I have to cook by myself. For me, it comes the monthly expenses of buying all the groceries and all the stuff needed to survive here. It comes around like 15 to 20,000 rubles per month. And coming to the cost of cafeteria, it costs around like 80 rubles for a cup of coffee, which may seem expensive, but that's how the rates are over here. And yeah, as I can say, it's moderate. We can survive, but it's not expensive. It's survivable.
Is it easy to make friends here?
Yeah, in fact, it is very easy to make friends in Russia. I mean, in here, because first of all, this is an international university, which has a lot of foreign students as well as students from India. So there are some foreign students who like to have a friendship with Indians, as they find us culturally much more unique, and they like to spend time with Indians. Apart from foreigners, there are also Russians as well who have same opinion about us, and so yeah, it's quite easy to make friends over here.
Can you work here and study at the same time?
Yeah, so the thing is, I am not working right now, and all the financial aspects is being handled. It's been given to me by my parents, so so yeah, I'm not working. But I know some of my friends who are working as tutors. They teach English to Russian students or even Russian kids, and there are some friends of mine who work in cafeterias as well. And
Is
yeah,
it
it's quite difficult actually, but like for me it's difficult as I'm doing my masters. It's difficult for me to manage both my work and my studies at the same time.
is it difficult to find a job here?
Not unless you know fluent not unless you are fluent in Russian language. The better you know the Russian language, the better your chances of getting a job in Russia.
Yeah, or maybe working in a foreign company here.
If you want to work in a foreign company, according to what I know, it's like you have to fulfill two criteria. The first thing is you are supposed to be a Russian, which is quite difficult for foreigners. And the second thing is you should be fluent in Russian language. So if you satisfy both of these two conditions, then you can work in a foreign company or in a MNC company in Russia. But apart from that, it's difficult to get a job. You can work in cafeterias or small other places, but not in multinational companies.
Do you have to learn Russian to study here?
Actually, no, we do not need to learn Russian language to attend the courses because I'm doing my courses in the English medium program. And right now I'm in my master's final year. It's been 2 years and I haven't used any Russian in my course. However, you may need to learn Russian to speak outside the campus because it's like some of them don't know English and they know only Russian. So in order to talk with them or to interact with them, you need to speak at least a bit of Russian. It'll be nice.
How easy is it to learn the language?
Learning Russian language was quite hard in the beginning because I was totally in a blank. My head was completely blank. I couldn't understand a single thing what they were saying. As soon as I started to learn a few Russian phrases, a few Russian words on my own, things got a bit easier. As what can I say? It will be hard in the beginning, but later on the tough gets going. It's going to be smooth. Camera, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If your course in English, is it necessary
Is it necessary to learn Russian?
to learn Russian? Or, one more time, if your course is in English, do you need to know Russian?
Yeah, you can say it.
Or is it necessary?
Anything.
If your course is in English, is it necessary to know Russian?
So, as I said before, I'm studying in an English medium program, and it's been 2 years, and I haven't used any Russian in my course. However, you may need to know Russian if you are talking with the localites, or let's say if you are dating with a beautiful Russian girl, you obviously need to know some Russian to talk with her. So, I would advise on learning some Russian, and before coming over here.
And the final thing is that could you tell me about the tips and advice you wish you had before coming to Russia and like the time that you spent in Russia, what you learned?
So coming to the advices of living in Russia, all I can say is enjoy it while you can, because you're staying here for like 4 years or 2 years. If you're doing bachelor's, it's for 4 years, master's is for 2 years, and all these years are very short compared to the Russians living over here. And I know some people, I know some friends who always just stay in the dormitory. They rarely go outside and interact with the Russians. All I can say is they're missing out a lot. They're missing out on a lot of memories which can last a lifetime. And yeah, so all I can say is just enjoy your time in Russia. Just go out. Even though you should study, that's the important part. You should not forget about the education. Along with the education, entertainment is also important. So make sure you create good memories in Moscow.
Do you have Russian friends?
Yeah, in fact, I do have a few Russian friends, and I talk with them in English, and they speak very good English. They speak English in a much better way than expected them they would speak, and yeah, I have few Russian friends.
Could you tell me about any funny, scary stories in Russia or the cases when you were surprised?
I mean, yeah, I have an incident, but I don't know if it's scary or funny, but because to me it was the most scariest incident at that time. The incident was like one day after I finished my grocery shopping, as I was going back to my dormitory, I was suddenly stopped by five guards, and and those five guards, they seemed huge, like they were really tall. And the most scariest thing about those five guards were out of those five guards, four guards had guns equipped with them. One of the guy was a technician, and so all of a sudden they just called me out of the blue. They're saying like, "Hey, come here," and I was like completely shocked. I couldn't even run at that point of time because I knew if I run, I'm done. So the most scariest thing was I had to muster up courage, approach them and ask them what did I do, what was the issue. Turns out all they wanted was to check my passport. That was one of the most scariest thing. Yeah.
So the last question is that would you recommend to visit Russia to study here?
So I would definitely recommend my friends to visit Russia and want to pursue education in Russia. And I would advise them on choosing the English medium program as their mode of education. Because the thing about English medium program is you don't really use the Russian language in your course. And the only time you need Russian language is when you're going outside. Moreover, if you don't know Russian language, you can use your own, like your knowledge of English language, and visit Moscow. You visit Red Square, Moscow Center, and you can even do sightseeing on your own, or you can even tag along with your Russian friends, and they'll be your local translator. It will be helpful for you, and it will be good times for them as well. So yeah, I would recommend you guys to visit Russia.
My congratulations, we did it. So wait for other videos. I'm gonna introduce some more people from other countries. Wait for it. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, have a nice day. До свидания.
До свидания. So
You stand there with this.
the first question is okay.